Okay, let's talk about the mouth, this beautiful mouth. I did a class on the mouth quite a few years ago. I've learned, of course, a lot more since then. But we want to talk about what brings beautiful teeth and a healthy mouth. Now, we know the health of the mouth is crucially important. We have learned that every tooth is connected to miles and miles of nerves that connect to every part of your body. That's why we hear that if we get infections in our mouth, it can actually cause heart disease, and that is true. But it can also cause all kinds of problems in all kinds of different organs. So we want to understand, why are we having mouth issues and dental issues and cavities, and we're needing root canals and all of these different procedures? Well, let's think of it this way. For thousands of years, people lived and existed on this earth, and they didn't brush their teeth and they didn't use mouthwash. Now, I'm not saying not to brush your teeth or use mouthwash, but I'm letting you know that when we ate clean, healthy diets based off of God's foods, God's design, living off of the earth, we didn't have these issues. Now, one of the guys who proved this beyond a shadow of a doubt was Dr. Weston A. Price. I love his research. One of the best books I ever read was Nutrition and Physical Degeneration, Dr. Weston A. Price. Every doctor, every dentist on the planet should read this book. And do they? Of course we don't, because it's a natural, holistic way of understanding that good health, good nutrition will give you a healthy mouth without needing all these procedures and all these expensive dental procedures. Now, if you have mouth issues, if you have cavities, a lot of times I meet women after they have pregnancies, they start getting cavities and having mouth problems. We're seeing children with cavities as young as 2, 3, 4 years old. This is a sign of a mineral deficiency. It's nutritional deficiencies, because what are teeth? Teeth are bone. It's a sign of bones and bone health. So it's a symptom, it's a signal that there's deficiencies in your bone if you're having cavities and tooth problems. It's also, of course, a sign that there's infections in your mouth, because where do these deep-rooted cavities come from? These deep infection that cause us to think we need root canals and these different procedures and fillings. It's because there's bacteria in the mouth that's actually eating away down through the teeth into the gums, because our teeth enamel has been destroyed. And so we have to clean up nutrition, we have to clean up our diets. But there's all kinds of amazing products and things that you can do to heal your mouth. There's minerals and mouth rinses and baking soda, and we'll talk about all that when we get into the product section. But I just, again, want you to understand that dentistry is an invention of modern man. Modern man, because of our poor choices, our poor nutrition, that has caused this array of health problems, and it's become just another business. And it's unfortunate we need it today. But people are suffering, they get a cracked tooth, they have these things that are emergencies, and they need to get those fixed and repaired by a good dentist, and that's okay. But we have to understand that good mouth health and good teeth, again, come from good choices, good nutrition, following God's laws of creation and design of how our bodies are supposed to work. We don't see moose and deer and other animals out in nature having tooth decay and needing cavities and needing all of these things. It's because they're living off of God's provision. And again, for thousands of years, when people did that, we didn't have these issues. Dr. Weston A. Price, he looked inside of mouths of natives all around the world on every continent. And what he found in common with all of these people was no cavities. They didn't have these issues in their mouth. In fact, he said he had to look in the average of 7 mouths to even find the hint of a beginning of one single cavity. And he was working in America and saw that people had a mouthful of cavities. And this is in the 1920s. And how could this possibly be? And it was the processed food. It was the white flour, the white sugar, the deficiencies in nutrition causing weak bones, the acidity of our body causing the body to pull calcium and nutrients out of our bones to deal with the acidic nature inside of our bloodstream. So again, God's a beautiful designer. He'll take calcium out of your bones to deal with our horrible diets and our stressed out lifestyles. If we want to eat processed foods and drink tons of soda and coffee and acidic things, it's going to pull nutrients out of our bones, and we're going to see that in the degeneration of our teeth. And so, just as we talk about as a common theme throughout this Eating by Design series, is that we want to eat in a way that honors God and honors our teeth and honors our mouth, because it's all a sign. It's all a symptom. It's all God speaking to us and letting us know that there's an issue that we need to deal with. So we can do oil pulling, where we swish oil in our mouth. We can, of course, floss our teeth. We can use all these different minerals to keep our mouth healthy. What's really crucial is antibacterial, antifungal agents to keep bacteria load down in our mouth, because again, those nerves travel through the body, and those bacteria can travel through the body and cause degenerative illness throughout our body. So let's clean our nutrition up, and let's use amazing products that God gave us to clean our mouths up, so we can have beautiful smiles, and you won't be embarrassed about your teeth or your mouth, because you'll have a beautiful smile the way God designed it. See my beautiful smile?